Hi guys, and today I'll be reacting to Tyler Viddle 1 hour. So yeah, you should grab your snacks and get ready and get locked and loaded. Let's go.
Because my friend likes to troll a lot, but he had to be the translator for me to communicate with his parents since he was the only one who knew both languages. So when we talked, he would purposely mistranslate what I said to his parents because he thought it was funny. Like I was in the car with his whole family, and his mom asked what
His whole family?
So I told her that I mostly listen to rap and R&B. But when I said this, my friend starts chuckling when he's trying to relay the message to his parents. But then I understood it, because when he spoke Spanish back to his parents, I only recognized one of the words he said, which was Diddy. He told his parents that I like to listen to Diddy. So from there on out, I just started using my phone to translate what they said.
Never make eye contact with someone who has a lazy eye. Because the other day, I was at the airport and someone right behind me goes, "Excuse me." So I turn around and look at them. But right away, I noticed they had a lazy eye, so I couldn't tell if they were looking at me or not. But when I looked back at them, they said, "Do you like that jacket?" But this is where I messed up, because they had headphones in and I wasn't wearing a jacket at the time. So since one of his eyes wasn't looking at me, I just assumed he was on the phone and I turned back around. But when I did that, he went, that was rude. So I turned to look at him again, but he still looked like he wasn't talking to me because of his lazy eye. So finally, I just go, "Eh?" And he nods his head yes. So that was when I realized he was talking about the jacket I had on in my screensaver. So I apologized, but I didn't know what else to say because I couldn't just be like, "Oh yeah, sorry, I couldn't tell you were talking to me because of your lazy eye." I should have just pretended to be deaf.
Why do I look so different in pictures compared to real life? Because I don't think I'm bad looking, but when someone takes a picture of me, I'll look at it and be like, "Oh, I thought you were taking a photo of me, not Jabba the Hutt." But it makes no sense because I look at myself in the mirror and I'm like, okay, this is what I look like. But if I don't move and take a picture in that exact same spot, I don't recognize myself. And the worst part is, if my friend takes a picture of me and I say how I look ugly in it and it doesn't look anything like me, they'll be like, "What do you mean? That's what you always look like." What? You're telling me my face always looks like something a third grader would draw with their non-dominant hand? That doesn't make me feel better. And for some reason, I look completely different in all the app's cameras. So I know it's not just my brain playing tricks on me. I just don't know which app shows the real me in the camera. For all you guys know, I don't even look like this in real life. Nobody talks about how Gen Z has a secret way of communicating. Because the other day, I texted my friend, but they got a new phone, so they didn't recognize my number. But when I told them who I was, they were like, "I would have never guessed it was you based off the way you talk." So I asked what they meant by that, and they told me that I communicate like an old person, not someone in Gen Z. I didn't know what that meant, so I made him explain what exactly talking like a Gen Z person looks like. And he told me almost everyone in our generation never capitalizes the first letter of a sentence. But I do, so that's why he thought I was old. The worst part was, he made fun of me for it, saying it looks dumb how I text. But like, dog, you're laughing at me because I use correct grammar? There's no way I'm the one getting cooked. So I asked him why everyone in our generation does this, and he was like, "It just looks better." Since when do you care how good your text message looks? This ain't the Declaration of Independence. I don't care if it looks pretty.
Never double text someone you have a crush on, because I used to do this all the time until one day I was texting this girl I liked and she told me she was going to the mountains for the weekend. So while she was up there, I texted her asking how it was going, but she didn't respond. So about 10 hours later, I text again thinking that she probably just didn't have cell service and couldn't see the first text. Then I go to bed, but when I wake up in the morning, there's still no response. So I check her Snap score to see if it's gone up since the last time she responded to me. It's not weird, everyone does it. But anyways, it did go up. So I knew she had service and I was just like, well, let's just try texting her one more time just in case she didn't see the first two. But you know what happens right when I send the text? My messages go from being blue to green. You know why? She blocked me. This was so embarrassing though, because I could just imagine her reaction after I sent the third text being like, "Damn, another text? This guy won't shut up." But I learned my lesson that day. Now, I don't talk to women at all.
Why is it so hard to date in Gen Z? I'm pretty sure everyone in this generation is gonna end up alone. Because there was this girl that would like my story every time I posted, but in real life, she would never talk to me. So eventually, one of her friends came up to me and was like, "Dude, why don't you talk to Sarah?" So I was like, "What are you talking about?" And she said, "You know Sarah likes you, right? She's been trying to flirt with you for a while now." And I was like, "No, she never even talks to me." But then her friend was like, "Yeah, but she always likes your stories." So that's how people flirt now? I just figured she thought the memes I reposted were funny. Like, how am I supposed to know that's flirty? But I understand why no one wants to talk normally to the people they like in this generation, because if you do, odds are that what you say is just gonna end up in a screenshot that the whole school will see, and then they'll make fun of you for it. Am I speaking from experience? That's not.
No.
If you
No,
ever
no,
need
no,
an
no,
excuse
no.
to skip school, do not say you have to go to a funeral. Because one time, I was going on vacation with my family, so I was going to miss some school. But I needed an excuse to tell my teacher to not get in trouble, and I decided to tell her that I was going to my grandma's funeral. But I really didn't want her to question it, so I made it super dramatic, and I was like, Yeah, this is the last grandma I had. But I really shouldn't have said this because the teacher told me to take as much time off as I need. So a couple months later, the end of the school year came around, and this was my last year of elementary school, so we had like a graduation event for everyone that was going to be moving on to middle school. But guess who came to this event? My grandma. And I totally forgot that I told my teacher she passed away. So when the event ended, my teacher came to say goodbye, and she started talking to my whole family, including my grandma. So when my grandma introduced herself, my teacher looked as if she saw a ghost, because she probably thought she did. Once I realized why she had that look on her face, I was like, okay, time to go. I'm just glad I never had to go back. Never buy shoes off Temu, because I was in class the other day and this kid walks in with a brand new pair of shoes, but they looked a little bit weird, so I knew right away that he got them off Temu because that man shops on that website like it's Black Friday every day. So anyways, he's wearing these shoes and we had a test that day, so the whole class was completely silent. Like if you talk, the teacher's gonna fail you. So while everyone is taking the test, a song randomly starts playing out of what sounds like a really low quality speaker. And everyone starts looking around trying to find where it's coming from. But then I look at the Temu kids' shoes, and they're flashing red, matching the sound of the beat. You know why? Because the song was coming from his shoes. The shoes had speakers in them. Apparently the shoe can play like 3 songs, and he accidentally tapped the button that starts it. So he immediately pressed the button again, trying to turn the song off as fast as he could. But why would you wear your Temu shoes to school in the first place?
Did anyone else have a friend growing up that your parents trusted, even though they shouldn't have? Like, my parents would let me go anywhere when I was younger, as long as my friend Jaden was coming. Because he was really good at talking to adults, so they thought he was the most responsible, respectful kid ever. Like, when he came over, he would always shake their hands and be super mature, so my parents just figured that he was a good kid for their son to be around. But what they didn't know is how he acted when adults weren't around, because the moment we would leave, he would turn crazy. Like when Jaden's pet fish passed away, instead of burying it or flushing it down the toilet like a normal person, he filled the fish bowl with Coke and Mentos, which made the deceased fish shoot up into the air. It literally flew like 15 feet and then splattered onto the ground. I didn't know whether to be terrified or amazed by what I just saw, but this was like normal for him. He would do things like this all the time, but the moment that adults came around, he turned on that parents' riz.
This is your warning to never compliment a pregnant lady. Because I was at the doctor's office the other day, but right as I arrived in the waiting room, all of the seats were taken except for this one next to this lady who looked really pregnant. So I asked her if anyone was sitting in it, and she said no, so I sat down. But this led to her making small talk with me, and she complimented my outfit, so I wanted to give her a compliment back. And since she was very pregnant looking, I said, thanks. You make pregnancy look easy with how much energy you've got. But right when I said that, her face dropped, and she went, I'm not pregnant. So I immediately turned red and I'm like, yeah, of course you're not. I don't know what I was thinking. But as I'm rambling, trying to apologize, she goes, I'm just kidding. I love telling people I'm not pregnant when they bring it up just to see their reaction. That's not cool. I'm pretty sure she almost made me go into labor.
You can always tell when someone is a middle child because they do not get treated like everyone else. Because one time, I was at an amusement park with 5 other people, and one of them was a middle child. So during this whole day, we were going on different rides, but it was super crowded there. So about 3 hours into me,
Yeah, and one time I almost died from a freaking ride that my sisters told me to go on.
there, we realized we lost our middle child friend. So I was like, wait, guys, has anyone seen Cole? But no one had, so we figured he just went to the bathroom or something without telling us. So we called him to tell him where we were at, and he finally met back up with us. So we asked him what happened, and he told us he got
That's
separated from us
low-key
right when we entered the park. So we were like, you got separated from us 3 hours ago and didn't try to call to find us? And he was like, nah, I'm used to people losing track of me. It happens all the time at home, so I just wandered off and went on some roller coasters by myself. I felt horrible for that, but honestly, I respect middle children a lot. They're way less needy than us younger siblings.
Why do best friends never take pictures together? Because I was talking to this girl the other day, and I was telling her about my friend because I thought they would like each other. But then she said, oh, well, do you have any pictures of him you can show me? So I started looking through my camera roll because I've known him for a while, so I was super confident I had a picture of us together. But after scrolling for about 5 minutes, I only found one picture. And the only reason I had this one was because it's the picture that the Postmates driver takes of you when they deliver your food. I had it saved because the Postmates driver used flash to take the picture, so we looked terrified and I thought it was super funny. So I had no other option but to show this picture to the girl, and she was like, is that the best pic you got? Then I was like, girl, that's the only pic I got. Keep in mind, we've been friends since 1st grade, yet the only picture I had of us together was one that the Postmates driver took. I just got banned from my favorite restaurant for life because my friend thought one of the girls that worked there was super pretty. And we eat here all the time, so eventually he got her number, and soon after that, they started dating. But this was really dumb of my friend to do because after a while, he lost feelings and broke up with her. So they were not on good terms. But she still worked at the restaurant, and we still wanted to eat there. But we knew we could never go when she was on the clock because she hates us now, and it would be super awkward. But the first time we tried going after they broke up, it ended horribly because she told all her coworkers about how my friend broke her heart. So they just gave us the worst service ever on purpose. Like I ordered a burger, and I'm pretty sure that thing was still mooing because they did not cook it at all. They also didn't come around to give us refills once. I don't know what I got dragged into this though. I didn't do anything to her.
I just wanted my half-pound burger with American cheese and grilled onions. But instead, I gotta keep eating this dang yogurt.
A person I went to school with passed away like a year ago, and I was going through a list of the people that I follow, and their name came up. So I'm trying to decide if I should unfollow them or not. I feel like it's messed up to do, but we weren't close or anything. We were just acquaintances. And I know this may sound crazy, but I have a feeling that if I unfollow them, their ghost will haunt me. I know it probably won't happen, but I don't want to take the chance. But like, they're never gonna post again, so do I need to follow them? Also, their account is private, so if I unfollow them, I will never be able to follow them again. What do I do?
Gender reveals are going way too far. Because tell me why I just saw one where the couple was in a jacuzzi. So I was thinking the color of their bathing suit would change to blue or pink when they got out or something like that. But no, instead, they count down going 3, 2, 1. And then there's just an awkward silence for a second where no one moves until you slowly start to see the water in the jacuzzi turn pink. They were finding out the gender of their baby by peeing in a jacuzzi. And they were doing it in front of their whole family. There's no way one of them thought of that idea, pitched it to their partner, and they were like, wow, that's a great idea. I'm convinced someone forced them to do this. But somehow, that's not even as bad as another gender reveal I heard about on the news because they used colored fireworks and it started a forest fire. There goes that kid's college fund. Like, why can't y'all just stick to slicing open a cake or something?
Someone put my number on Craigslist saying that I'm selling wheelchairs. So now every day I'm getting calls from old people asking to buy these wheelchairs. So old people are horrible with technology and they don't understand that there's no wheelchairs. So they keep calling me back every day. I don't know if these people just have dementia and they forget that they already called me 20 times, or if they're just horrible at using the internet. But either way, they won't stop. So if you see someone selling wheelchairs on Craigslist, it's fake. Don't call the number.
Nobody talks about how scary it is to see your teacher in public. Because I was at a restaurant with my family one time, but as the waitress was seating us, I see my teacher eating with her family. So I tried looking in the opposite direction because I didn't want her seeing me, but then we arrived at our table.
And that's it for today, guys. Bye. But we'll finish this one.
Which happened to be the one right next to them. So we sit down, and I've just got my head turned like this, which makes my parents be like, Tyler, what are you doing? And I was like, oh, you know, I just got a sore neck. But then they're like, you look ridiculous. Sit up straight. So I do, and despite trying my hardest to avoid eye contact, the teacher sees me. So she waves and goes, oh, hi, Tyler. Is this mom and dad? But I didn't want her talking to my parents because I knew she was gonna tell them how bad I behave in class. So I'm just like, yeah. And then she goes, this one's a big troublemaker, huh? And my parents look at me confused because they had no idea about my behavior in class. So to stop her from saying any more, I was just like, enjoy your dinner, Miss Garendo.
This is your warning to never text a girl past midnight because I used to.
And that's all.